Welcome to Record-ology.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Before you is a Sony CD Player CDP 690. We are going to test it out, see if it works, tell you how I got it, and also look inside and see how it operates. Should be pretty fun. But before I do that, I wanted to let you know that my wife posted in the community tab today to pose a question to you. So if you haven't done so already, head over there to the community tab and check it out and give us your answer. Basically, we want ideas of, what do you like seeing on the show? What do you want to see more of and whatnot? So go check that post out and give us your feedback in the comments to that. I would very much appreciate that. Okay, so what do we have here today? We have, like I said, a Sony CDP 690, CDP 690. And when I saw this today on the shelf at Goodwill, I thought to myself, well, that's cool. A purpose-built single disc CD player. Looks pretty early. I was guessing 87, 88, but it is newer than I had guessed. It's 1991, actually. So it says here, and by the way, I have no idea if it works. We're going to test it out. We're going to, hopefully it works. We're going to look inside it either way. But we got the nice chunky old school CD door on there. Linear skate disc loading. Dual DA converter system. 18-bit linear or 8-time oversampling. That's really cool. And I think from a spec standpoint, that's actually a bit higher than a lot of what you see out there. There's the IR window, door, whatever. I don't have the remote. It's got the old school It's a Sony sticker on it, which is neat. When we look inside, it'll be interesting to see if there's any non-Sony components. This is great because you have full control over the deck from the front, it looks like anyway. So it looks like you can push any of these buttons and go right to any track on the song. It looks like, we've got the ability to program and all that good stuff. It does have a built-in headphone amplifier, as you can see there. So yeah, not a half bad unit whatsoever. But before we dive into it, it's coated in dust. So the first thing is we're going to do this. And this is what I do for anything I get from Craigslist, anything I get from Goodwill. Even if I end up, taking this back, let's say I decide not to keep it, it's not working, I want a refund, whatever. I don't even want to work with it at all until I have disinfected it and given it a superficial wipe down. So these are Clorox wipes, and I am going to wipe it down. Look at this door here. Looks like an access panel. We'll take a peek in there as well. In fact, maybe we'll look in there before we open up the top lid. It looks like it's something to do with the laser, so that'll be interesting. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. I paid $12.99 for it. So let me know down in the comments below if you think that was a good deal. I would say so. I mean, based on what I know. 1991 is close to when I got my first CD player, which was a boombox. And I remember how exciting, how thrilling it was to have a CD player. It was such a luxury. And then when I got my first portable one as well, thinking that was just like, I was so excited to have that ability to play a CD and listen to it privately. I think that was really, really exciting. Look how dirty this is. Probably been sitting in somebody's garage, unused, unthought of. They're doing spring cleaning. They're like, hey, we should get rid of this thing. Let's just donate it to Goodwill. And that's good because hopefully we can get some use out of it. This thing is filthy. Man alive. Look at that. It is filthy. And this light, like we've talked about before, does a really good job of highlighting all of the dust and whatnot. Okay, so I'll probably give it a tighter, better cleaning once we get, a little bit further into it. So, all right, let me let that dry off a little bit. I'm going to use a little microfiber. I don't want to shock myself when I plug it in. And we'll start by just testing it. We'll see how it works. And we'll go from there. Okay. Plugging it in now. Let's see what we get. Nothing right off the bat. I'm going to turn the light down a bit. I'm sure this has a fluorescent display, so power it on. All right, it comes to life. It's got a nice fluorescent display. It still needs cleaning. I need to give it probably the Q-tip treatment. There's a lot of crevices. A lot of crevices in there that need some cleaning. No disc. So yeah, that's actually a pretty dang good sign. So let me find a CD. Turn this back up, I guess. Let me scoot you guys down just a tad bit. Might make it easier to see what's going on. I'll tilt it up too a bit, but let's put a CD in there and we'll go to town. Hopefully it just works. That would be awesome. I don't have it hooked up to anything yet, but okay, the drawer comes out. Man alive. It is filthy. Oops. I didn't mean to put it back in. Come back out. You're not ready yet. Okay. It is filthy. I don't like dusty stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that can just have dusty electronics. That might surprise you based on how dusty things look on the show a lot, but in actuality, I don't like it that way. I'm also going to connect cable. Well, no, I want to show you what the back looks like first. So I'm using this broadcast music to test with. It's actually on a CDR. Now, some people say, well, can it play CDRs or not? It should be able to. A CDR and the regular CD is the same exact format. It's just a matter of whether or not it's... With a CDR, instead of there being little, pits and falls, like kind of like grooves on a record, like mechanical pits and falls, it uses a die system where it actually burns the die, as it were, to change its reflectivity. And you can still do the same binary code and file system that a regular CD can, but you're not literally having the pits and falls that a regular CD does. So it's the same file format. It doesn't mean it's MP3 just because of the fact that it is on a CDR. Okay, so let's spit it right back out. Okay, it doesn't want to be tilted. So, okay, it's coming right back out. It's odd that it wouldn't like that format or that type of a disc. So let's try a regular pre-recorded compact disc, which I don't have right here. I know. How about the new Status Quo? Nope, that's in another CD player right now. Hold on. I'm prepared for everything, right? Nope, that one's empty too. Okay, maybe I'm not as prepared as possible, or as I want it to be. All right, here is a regular, you can tell because it's like a silvery shiny versus green. By the way, when it comes to burnable media, the green ones are CDs and purple are DVDs. But this silver finish indicates that it is a mechanically, pressed disc. So let's go ahead and put it in, see what happens. Okay, so it's rejecting everything. That's just dandy. So why is it rejecting anything? So there are sensors on the drawer, on the tray. You combine drawer and tray and you get drawer. And there's a lot of things that could be happening. So what we're going to do is open this bad boy up. So I'm going to power it off. I'm going to unplug it. And I am going to go wide. And we are going to take the case off. Actually, you know what? Before we take the case off, more so out of curiosity's sake, let's see what's in here. I think this is kind of interesting. I don't even need an excuse to take something apart. I just think it's interesting stuff. So let's see what is inside. I'm trying to turn fast. Sorry, I need like a power screwdriver. Come on. Here. And okay. That's interesting. So literally it's the bottom of the drawer mechanism. Look at this. This is really interesting. Speak of the devil. What do you see there? Sanyo chip and a Sony chip. Remember we were talking about competitor products residing in each other's devices? Well, there you go. This is a Sony CD player with a Sanyo chip in there. Pretty cool. All right, we need to take the case off now. So I'm going to flip this back over. I'm going to leave that panel off for right now so you don't have to watch me deal with that. But so yeah, $12.99. I mean, I think that was a good deal if I can get it working. If not, then it doesn't matter if it's a good deal because it's going back. You know, I'm not going to just have something that doesn't work here. I say that, yet I have things around here that don't work. I don't want to have just stuff to have stuff. And I don't want to be one of those guys that has, you know, piles of quote-unquote projects laying around either. I want either it's literally a project, literally something we're working on, or it's nothing. So anyway, while I'm finishing up these screws, what are you guys up to today? Tell me all about it. I'd like to know. Maybe I overcommitted myself on this episode. Maybe I shouldn't have promised that we'd get the case off in the same episode. I'm trying to do it in one take here, as you can tell. But hopefully this is interesting. We're just friends hanging out, looking at toys and comparing notes, right? And I've learned so much from you guys, and I appreciate it. By the way, thank you to everybody who joined our live earlier today. That was tons of fun. I only had time for 30 minutes, but it was 30 minutes well spent. So thank you guys to everybody who could join. If you couldn't join, no worries. We'll be doing more of them. You can always watch the replay if we post it. Okay, so here comes the lid off. Let's see what we got. Wow. That is a very, very simple case. Look at that. There's just not much to it. You've obviously got the mechanism over here. You've got a couple monster caps, power supply, Mitsubishi chip, Motorola chip, Sony chip. I'm not sure what brand this is. It kind of looks like like a triangle and a square. It kind of looks like a YouTube logo. And yeah, I mean, it's a very simple device. So let's go ahead. Don't do this at home, kids, but I'm going to plug it back in while it's disconnected. The biggest thing is you don't want to look into that laser. Let us power it on and eject. If I can get it to power on. It may have a failsafe. Does it really have? I think it's got a failsafe. It knows I've got it taken apart. Okay. Is it really doing that? Impressive. Yeah, it will not let me open. Oops, no, just kidding. Okay, so let's see what happens if I put a disc in. I'm just going to put in the pre-recorded one so we can rule out the CDR situation. Does it even spin up? No. So there is something going on. Oops. There's something going on in this neck of the woods. So let's zoom in here and see if we can see what happens here. So I'm going to push this in. So we definitely have an issue. I'm going to have to play around with it, guys. We're 13 minutes in. I don't want you to make you sit there and watch me fiddle with this thing. So we can't give it a sound test today, unfortunately. So this will be a first look at this Sony CD player. It looks so clean and simple. I'm sure we can get it working. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Anyway, I hope you thought this was interesting, guys. That's going to do it for today. Happy record hunting, CD hunting, whatever it is. We will see you tomorrow.